Ever wondered what it's like behind the scenes of someone else's life? Well, if you have, then this episode is for you. Hey, and welcome back to the Real Shit What Goes On pod. I'm Soph, and I am the host of this pod. In today's episode, I am giving the people who know me the hot seat and seeing how well they actually know me. I just want to share a quick disclaimer. Anything I do say in this podcast is my own lived experience and my own personal views. I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form, and I will always attach helplines at the end of each episode. So, have you ever wondered what it's like to be in someone else's shoes? I do all the time, to be fair. So, in today's pod, we are going to be doing, and this might be split into parts because it's going to be so long. So in this episode, we are going to be doing so I've asked people in my life, like my friends, my family, my PAs, my therapists, and I've asked people who are in my life to answer some questions for me. And it's just about getting to know me, seeing who knows me, and I thought it was actually quite fun because everyone's questions have different, everyone says a different thing, so it's quite fun to do. So the first Q&A I'm gonna do it from is my best friend Christina. Her name's actually not Christina, but I call her Christina still because that's how I know her. And me and Christina have been friends for, well, literally since we met at a naughty school together. But yeah, we've been friends for a very long time, since we were probably 14, 15. And she has been through everything with me. So starting off, the questions I've asked Christina is, when you think back to that time in my life, what was the biggest thing you want people to understand about and what it was really like? I just want to give a trigger warning to some of these questions and answers, but please do take care and listening. So starting again, when you think back to that time in my life, what was the biggest thing you want people to understand about what it was really like? And Christina has said, thinking back, it was possibly one of the darkest times in my life. No one prepares you for seeing someone you love deeply, who has been through so much with you, someone you see as close as my family, struggling as bad, mentally struggling and physically. Hearing your cries in agony will never leave my head. And you know what? I, at the time, obviously, I didn't think about things like that. But even now, even though knew it had an effect on my friends and my family, you don't always realize. But yeah, that was a bit emotional. What do you think people misunderstand about suicide attempts and survivors? The strength it finally takes to finally decide that it's over for you and you no longer want to survive, to then actually survive in it, takes a seriously strong person to come through it. What was the hardest part for you supporting me through that period? Seeing you go through so much pain, not knowing if you were going to walk again, was horrible. What do you think kept me going even when I didn't want to? Realizing how much there is in life that is good, and me telling you straight about who's not good in your life. What's something you saw in me at my lowest that you still see in me now? Vapes, ha ha ha. Nah, probably the love you have for everyone. What do you think I needed the most in those moments, and did I ever let myself receive it? True friends and care, you let yourself have me by your side, so I say yeah. What changes have you noticed in me since then, real healing changes? You're so much stronger than yourself, so much positive. What's something you're proud of me for that you don't think I fully realizing your self-worth and cutting off everyone who's bad, who was dulling your sparkle. If you could give me one piece of advice for this next chapter in my life, what would it be? Be careful who you trust, as the closest ones can also be the worst for your soul. It's true. If you could speak to someone supporting a friend through something similar, what would you tell them? Be strong enough for both of you. Don't let them see you down, as they need hope, strength, and positivity. So if like your friend is going through something similar, don't let the person she didn't want me to see that in that situation. And it's true, like, I guess it's hard because like me, like I want to be there for my friends, but obviously in that kind of situation I couldn't really be there, so my friends had to like be there for me, kind of thing. It's hard. It's really hard. If you could say something to the version of me back then, what would you say to her now? I don't think I'd say anything different to what I always have done. I've always been very brutally honest. It's true. It's true. When I feel like I'm too much of a burden, what's the one thing you want me to remember? If you were too much of a burden, I'd block you off. My cut-off game is as strong as you know. As strong as you know. Haha, nothing you could do would be ever a burden. You're the sister I chose. So, universal people who know me banter questions. So, what was your first impression of me? Be honest. Actually, have no idea. It was when we were young. I have a feeling we didn't actually like each other at first, but there you go. Sure, there has been some moments with me and Christina not liking each other, but we're like best friends, like sisters now. What's my most chaotic trait? Impulsive like me. I mean, you can have that one. What's the most Sophie thing I do? Get a cat. Yeah, that I would actually get another kitten if I could right now. If you had to describe me in 3 words, what would it be? What would they be? Caring, fun, and inspirational. What's something I'm weirdly obsessed with that you'll never understand? Vapes. I mean, if you're a vapor, you know. She's not a vapor. What's my biggest green flag? You'll do anything for a person in need. What's my biggest red flag? But be gentle. You don't believe in yourself. True. What's the funniest thing I've ever said or done in front of you? Oh God, I don't know. You can be fucking hilarious. If my life was a TV show, what would the title be? Life in the World of Soph. What's one thing you secretly admire about me but don't say enough? Not a secret if I told you. Ha ha ha. Nah, I really admire how far you've come. Savage edition. What's my biggest ick? Something I do that gives you secondhand embarrassment. Loves vapes more than people. What What's my worst habit when I'm stressed? Vapes. If you could ban one thing from my life forever, what would it be? Vapes. Christina don't like me vaping for sure. What's the most dramatic thing I've ever done? Ha ha ha. Beep, beep. Need I say no more? Leaving that one out. What's the most unhinged hyperfixation I've ever had? Oh, there's been a few. Maybe the ideas during your tough time. If my dating life was a movie genre, what would it be? Rom-com. What's my biggest I said I'm fine lie? There's been many. So yeah, that was the questions from me and my friend, like with me and one of my really close friends, who's literally like family. So yeah, so that's gonna be mine and Christina's part one. So yeah, it's actually really interesting doing these, to be honest with you. And it's like, oh my god, like you don't like sometimes you don't realize how like your friends are feeling and things like that. So yeah, I just want to say like a big thank you, a big shout out to her, and I love you lots. But yeah, this is going to be part one, and do come back for part two, because next on my list I have my auntie back on. So yeah, it's going to be 10 questions with my auntie. So please do come back for part two of this.